So today we've got more rumours going around in the Championship. Let's talk about them. What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Today I'm going to go through some transfer rumours and also go through some confirmed deals since my last transfer show last week. If you guys like what you see, please make sure you do give this video a like, it does tremendously help the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't done it, it does really help the channel, and please share this channel to as many people as you can, all that would really make my day. But without any further ado, let's go through the confirmed transfers first. So one of the transfers that happened literally minutes after I released my video last week was Reece Berg. He has joined from Hull to Luton Town. He's a defender and he's had a little bit of championship experience with Hull. He was in Hull City squad when Hull were relegated from the Championship. And looking at his stats, he's a pretty decent player. And I think Johnny Luton Town, I think I can definitely see him deputising over the loss of Matty Pearson. And I actually think this is a pretty good signing. So I think Luton have done pretty well to get someone like Reece Berg, who has got some championship experience, but he's also very good on the ball and can get the odd goal now and again. So I think Luton have done well. But whilst Hull lost Reece Berg, Hull gained George Moncur. Now, he came from Luton to join Hull City. He has been a player that I felt has not been getting enough game time with Luton Town. I wouldn't necessarily say he's definitely going to start every single game, because I think the midfield part of Hull City already is pretty strong. So it will definitely increase their competition. So an intriguing signing by Hull. Blackpool being a very busy side going in the last couple of days. They lost Ollie Turton, who was the one who scored that unfortunate own goal in the playoff final. But he's a right back and he has joined Huddersfield Town, and that's Huddersfield's fourth signing already. So Huddersfield have been getting a lot of their deals done and dusted very, very quickly. And do I see him being a good player? I mean, he has been in Blackpool for a good number of years. I think he started out in Crewe Alexandra in the academy, and then he eventually grew to Blackpool. Now he's made the move up to Huddersfield. I can see him being a good signing. I see fullback as a position that Huddersfield have been lacking a little bit. Of course, you've got Harry Toffolo doing fantastically well on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side, we don't traditionally see too much movement going from that right-hand side. But I think getting someone like Turton, who I know with the potential that he has, I think he'd be a good transfer for them. But Blackpool have gained 3 players in the past couple of days. One of them being Daniel Grimshaw for Manchester City under-23's goalkeeper. One of them being Reece James, not the Chelsea Reece James that's going to the Euros, the other Reece James from Doncaster Rovers. Now, he's a fullback and he'll likely go into Ollie Turton's place, but I think I traditionally see him more as a left-sided defender. And he's got a real abundance of potential. I saw him a little bit with Doncaster, and I think he can definitely be a great signing. Of course, he'll be reuniting with Grant McCann. And the third signing that Blackpool have made is Shane Lavery from Linfield, of course, the team in the Northern Ireland League. I don't know about him. This one's a little bit more of a wild card. He scored a couple of goals. He got him on a free transfer. Could be a decent signing, but could definitely provide some good options to back up to Jerry Yates. But could also be a player who may have to step in for Jerry Yates, for someone who's going to be very, very heavily linked in this transfer window. The confirmed deals doesn't stop there. Henrik Dalsgaard has left Brentford to join FC Midtjylland. Devante Cole has returned to Barnsley as well. So Devante Cole was in Barnsley in 2014-15 season when Barnsley were in the Championship, I believe. He joined from the Manchester City youth team and he did all right. It wasn't like an incredible season, but then he spent most of his season playing in League 2 teams such as Doncaster. He's then moved to Motherwell, where I think he scored 8 goals in 22 appearances, where he's had an alright season, not an amazing season, but now he's returned to Barnsley. So, I don't know, a bit of a puzzling transfer for me. He may fill the void of Daryl DK, of course, who now has to return to his parent club, Orlando. And the final transfer, it's not been confirmed, you know, they've not announced it, but it's pretty much confirmed. Emiliano Buendia has joined from Norwich to Aston Villa, and the deal will be around 33 million plus add-ons. An unbelievable deal for Aston Villa, really. The fact they've had to beat Arsenal to this just goes to show the kind of appeal that Buendia must have got with Aston Villa, to be honest with you. And I'm already seeing that front three of Grealish, Watkins and Buendia. That attack alone could really, really rip things up. And I tell you what, it's really happy for me to see that a championship orientated front three could potentially rip the Premier League apart. It's really giving me a sense of hope that maybe the Championship isn't as distant from the Premier League as I thought. I'm fearful for Norwich though, for the fact they've got to try and get a replacement in, but a fantastic deal for Aston Villa. So that's all the confirmed transfers confirmed. Now let's go on with the rumours. Now the first rumour is based on a managerial rumour, and it's on David Wagner. Now, he may be confirmed as West Brom manager by the time this video goes out, but as of yesterday, he was by far the odds-on favourite to now get the job. Chris Wilder was leading the race for a lot of it, but I think the deal has broken down, and now Wagner is fastly approaching the red-hot favourite now. But if he returns to the Championship, honestly, he's done wonders with Huddersfield Town, took a mid-table or lower mid-table team to the Premier League, of course, in one season in charge. Not the prettiest of football, really, but if he gets West Brom back to the Premier League, you know, he'll be seen as a really good manager. But the expectation is what I worry about with Wagner a little bit. And obviously, recently, he's actually managed Schalke, and he was in charge of Schalke's longest ever winless run. So I don't know how much that could definitely impact him mentally. But I'm really happy to see him return to English football if it's confirmed he's going to West Brom. I don't know if West Brom fans are going to be happy with it, and I don't think it is the best deal they could have gone for. But it's not one of the worst deals they could have gone for either. So I'm two minds about him being West Brom manager if it's confirmed. Now to transfer rumours involving football players, we've got Paul Mullin being the first one. You may recognise that name. He's the League 2 top goal scorer this season. He was the sole reason why Cambridge United got promoted from League 2, 32 goals in 46 appearances. He has been linked with Middlesbrough and Preston at the moment. Obviously playing most of this season in 2 divisions below. So there's a huge jump in quality if anyone were to sign Paul Mullin. But with the goal scoring ability he has managed to amass with Cambridge, you know, maybe you could look at him as a bit of an Ivan Toney and he can be adaptable to the league. But for the fact it's 2 leagues, I do fear that it could be a bit of a risk. But for sides like Preston and Middlesbrough, who both need to try and get their goal scoring up, it might be a risk worth taking, especially if they can get a good money deal from him. Sunderland look like they're going to go on a massive clean out, and their next player being linked away is Denver Hume. He's been reported interested by Middlesbrough. Now, in 24 appearances, he scored 1 and assisted 2, so he's done all right. He's 22 years old, so a relatively young player, but his contract is expected to expire this summer. So Middlesbrough could very likely, if they can get the deal over the line, they'll get him on a free transfer. One rumour I'm not surprised to be seeing is Preston with Daniel Iversen. Now, Preston are working tirelessly hard to try and tie down Daniel Iversen. I spoke last week about them trying to tie down Sepp van der Berg. And their loan deals, to be fair to them, were the reason why I felt Preston did start to pick up their form near the end of the season. And Daniel Iversen was a big part of that. He made 23 appearances and kept 9 clean sheets. That is nearly 1 clean sheet in every 2 games, which that rate alone is absolutely brilliant. I spoke about him yesterday about players unlucky not to be in the Euros, and I felt if he had a full season, he definitely would have been second choice or at least third choice goalkeeper for Denmark. I think Preston really got to try and get this deal over the line, because especially someone like Declan Rudd, who is not the youngest of players anymore, and Iversen will be approaching the peak of his goalkeeping career. He's 28 years old, and I think Preston can definitely get a good couple of years out of him. So for Preston's sake, they definitely should try and get this deal done. One deal I do expect to be confirmed pretty soon is Blackpool making their 4th signing on Josh Bowler. Now, Derby County were also linked with the Everton winger, but I think he's due a medical at Bloomfield Road a little later today. So I will be expecting the deal to be confirmed quite soon. He's 22 years old, joined Everton from Queen's Park Rangers in 2017, and he's got the odd game now and again at Goodison Park, but he was loaned at Hull City, and that is why Blackpool have regained their interest, because he was fantastic in terms of joining Hull City, especially in the 2019-20 campaign, where we got a lot of championship experience with Hull. A lot of these links are linked with Blackpool right now, but Bristol City are keen to try and get Jerry Yates. Now, of course, we heard recently about their release list. Famara Jeju is one of those players that will be released from Bristol City. Jerry Yates could definitely be a replacement for that. He has scored up to double figures in goals and has been a huge reason why Blackpool have been promoted out of League One. I think Blackpool will do all they can to keep him, but if the likes of Bristol City and other higher championship clubs offer a deal that they cannot turn down, I think Blackpool are going to find it very, very difficult to keep him. But if they can keep him, I think Blackpool could have a potential chance. But I don't see Bristol City being the only side being linked with Jerry Yates as well. I think we'll definitely see a load of clubs linked with him in the next couple of days or so. The void of Emi Buendia for Norwich is going to spark some interesting rumours, to say the least. Now, Matheus Pereira was definitely one of the most hotly tipped rumours around. And he can definitely play in Buendia's position, and I see why he's a very attractive option. And for the fact I think he got 11 goals and 6 assists in the Premier League last season, he can definitely play at a Premier League level. And he could be someone who'd be very important for that Norwich City side if he does join Norwich City. We're nearly done for rumours already, and this one's one of the more interesting ones, which is on Matt Grimes. Now, he has been linked with Southampton, Newcastle and Watford. I could definitely see why Watford will be linked with him for the fact that Watford have been competing with Swansea in the Championship this season. It's going to be really, really intriguing to see if Matt Grimes does stay with Swansea. Of course, Swansea released their retained list quite recently, and some big names have been released, including the likes of Andre Ayew. I think Swansea, what they're going to have to do, they're going to have to try and tie those big, important players down if they want to try and go for the Championship again. It's just going to show that they're definitely a good Championship outfit. They need to improve their consistency and just try and be a bit more ruthless, I think, and not to go on poor runs of form, because when they went 4 defeats in a row, that's when Swansea didn't go up. And Matt Grimes plays a really important part in that midfield, being their captain, of course. So it's important for Swansea to try and keep him, but I could definitely see why he'll be tempted with the move away to the Premier League. The final rumour going on about a player is Chuks Eneke from Charlton Athletic. Now, I've seen him play before in the Championship, and Bristol City, Middlesbrough, Queen's Park Rangers, Coventry and Reading are all interested. So that's 5 different Championship teams that have displayed an interest in the Charlton striker. Now, he's scored 15 goals in 38 appearances for Charlton. So he's been very, very important in Charlton's season. Definitely a capable Championship player from what I've seen of him. And I'm not surprised with the amount of interest that they got. And for the fact that Charlton did have a pretty good squad going up to the Championship, they got relegated, of course, and now will spend 2 consecutive seasons in League One now. You could start seeing that good amount of quality in that squad to be starting to be tempted and dragged away back to the Championship. So Charlton could also go on a bit of a max exodus this summer as well. Now, the final rumour I want to talk about is a managerial one. So we started the rumours with one, I will end one with that. Now, we've been hearing that Crystal Palace were really heavily linked with Nuno Espirito Santo, the former Wolves manager. Of course, they've got their new manager already, Wolverhampton Wanderers, with Bruno Lage. Now, we've heard that the deal between Nuno and Crystal Palace have broken down last night. Now, Crystal Palace are going to have to look again and try and find a new manager. Now, they were previously linked with 2 Championship managers, Steve Cooper and Valérien Ismaël. Now, can I see either one of them being tempted with a move away? I mean, yes, I definitely could see both of them if they get a good amount of money, if they get a good transfer strategy by Steve Parish and whatever, then they can definitely be tempted to the Premier League. Steve Cooper, for me, a little bit more likely with him being English as well. He would have worked with some of those players before. Ismaël being a bit more of a risk, but definitely the impression he gave when he turned Barnsley, a team in 21st, all the way up to 5th place. I mean, he could definitely pull off some miracles. So definitely pay attention to Crystal Palace, because I definitely see Crystal Palace as a side that won't be afraid to dip back down to the Championship to try and pick a manager to lead their authority. But that wraps it up with all of the rumours and transfers in today's video. If I missed anyone, do let me know in the comments down below. That's episode 4 of the Transfer Show now done. If you guys like what you see, please make sure to give this video a like and just remember to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel. And please share this channel to as many people as you can. All that would really make my day. But that wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary. If it's only the end of this video. And as always, take care, everyone.